Hey, we're recording.
It bleeps. There's like a light. I could see a light.
I've seen the light. Is that a train?
All right, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'll mute all your asses. Warning, this episode is going to be shit. Hold on.
Fun.
Warning,
Adam.
Warning, this episode has the explicit tag. Stop now if you don't want to hear potty words or talk about genitalia. Welcome to episode 150 of Masters of the Forge. I'm Adam. I'm here with Jason. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Adam.
And Sam.
Hi.
And Matt.
Hello.
I'm not sure why I did that in that order. I should have said Matt and Sam because the person
No,
with
it's
the biggest
right.
ego should always be second.
I am the most important one.
That's
so
why you should be last.
I'm like the queen. The queen walks through doors first.
You are certainly a queen.
Wait, does she wait for the doors to open, or does she just walk through them?
She walks through them first.
All right, so I should let
Necron.
everybody know I am recording outdoors because I don't want to wake the baby. And so you may hear my neighbor's air compressor go off. You may hear motorcycles drive by. It could be very interesting on my side of things. I've also been day drinking, so there's that. Sam and Matt are in a studio.
Well, we talked about this earlier. We're in a studio, kind of, but it's really a storeroom full of rubbish.
That's a studio.
Don't call the room that we're in rubbish. We're not rubbish.
Yeah.
We are a fairly legitimate.
It's pretty much a room full of microphones, mic stands, flight cases, and a lot of grey sprues.
Right. Do you have a wet palette?
I mean, does my pants count?
Yes.
You know what? I'll allow it. I was going to say no, but I'll allow it. You're legitimate.
It's homemade.
Yeah, it's gone beyond the Dremel tool. You have to have a wet palette to be legitimate now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. It's true. So we're going to be talking about. We're just going to be shooting the breeze. Hanging out, talking about the fact. I invited you guys on to gush at us about our 150 episodes.
I know, it's amazing.
So it's really just an ego trip for us, but with the veneer of talking about the advent of 9th edition. Actually, this is what we did for episode 100. We talked more about the advent of episode or of
8th edition.
8th edition. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, we did.
I think it's been literally 50 episodes. So
that's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You put out too many episodes. You make us look bad.
Do we though? That's another thing we should talk about. We've had some quality issues ever since Games Workshop started giving us free shit, which is weird.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to say no, not sound quality. I'm just like content quality. But I think we've turned it around. I think
didn't you start bragging about how your quality got better over lockdown? Wasn't that the
sound quality certainly got better thanks to Zencaster.
I mean, I love Zencaster. I'm definitely an advocate now.
Okay, cool.
We should get this. Then we wouldn't have to see each other anymore. We could just record from home.
That'd be sad.
Yeah, that would be sad.
The only weird thing is it's mono.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah,
no. Hold on. You two are in mono, but each of us has a mono track that can be modified and moved stereo.
Right.
In your favor.
You want two different people to be logged into two different computers if you want to split them. That's all.
That makes sense. That's okay. Yeah. So I was listening to a podcast a few weeks ago, and they literally had people on like extreme left and extreme right. And it proper threw me off because I normally listen like with one headphone on, and I was like, hang on, this guy's just talking to himself. Like answering his own questions, and I was like, this is so weird. And then I realized that they'd just gone so extreme that it was unreal.
Yeah, or if you're in a car,
yes,
it's really weird because one person will just be super quiet because it's the other side of the car, and you have bad hearing. There have been podcasts in the past where they're like, oh, we don't want to blow out their eardrums with our high volume, so I have to crank the volume in my truck to hear at all. Like I couldn't listen to back when the douchebags were on 40K radio. Like their volume was so quiet, I just couldn't listen to them in the car.
yeah.
I just couldn't.
Yeah, no,
Not everyone has a premium member of the team that can do this in their sleep / get paid lots of money to do this. Not everyone's as fortunate as Masters of the Forge.
It's true. Jason breaks the bank, but he's well worth it. It's true. So how have you guys been? How are things in England? I think our listeners would be really interested to hear what the situation is over there. Like,
well,
are you guys still not going to games? Okay, there are parts of the South where people are just going to game stores.
Okay.
Fuck 100% of that. First of all, you people are out of your goddamn minds. But what are things like over there? Are you guys able to mingle again, or what's up?
So they had a weird phase of kind of like being like, cool, go out, but stay away, but be together, but be apart. All at the same time. So that
they saw how well that worked out for us, maybe.
Well, ours is going back up. They've now turned around and been like, cool, if you can work from home, you should probably be at home, which is quite nice. But Matt's gone back to work sometime.
Yeah, I'm kind of semi at work and semi on our furlough scheme. The government are kind of supporting us by giving us 80% of what we don't work.
Yeah,
that must be nice.
It's literally saved my family, really, to be honest, because I work for a charity. So without that, I wouldn't have been paid for the last 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
So even with the little with that little hit, just makes such a difference.
I do wish that we got £1,000 check though. Like that sounds pretty.
I've been paid more than that so far.
Yeah, I think 80% of your pay is a lot better than $1,000 or $1,200.
Matt doesn't get paid that much.
I don't get paid much.
That's true. We got I don't know how it works, but it's like it's a check. We just threw it right back in the economy, obviously, because we're not rich. We're updating the house a little bit with that.
Yeah.
But
so I actually went to. Are you an illegal alien? Because obviously,
no, I'm not. They just never sent me one.
Oh wow!
So I'm not sure what was going on because I filed my taxes early. So yeah,
it's your own fault for being efficient.
Yeah,
well, I was kind of wanting my tax return so I could buy a computer.
So I actually went to Warhammer World a couple of weeks ago, and they've got like an absolutely amazing system where you go in, you go upstairs, and they've got that you go straight into their big store. All of the gaming centers closed off, like they've got nice boards with photos of models on, which is a bit weird. And then if you pick anything up from the shelves, you have to put it on almost a dirty table. And then they go around and clean it for you, which is a bit weird. And then they put it back on the shelves. So like stores are opening. So like obviously Warhammer World has the luxury of being a big store and a big open space. So you can just wander in and stuff. But my local GW, I went there a few weeks ago and they were very much like wait outside, one person at a time. Weirdly, the smell had kind of gone. It was quite a pleasant experience personally. But then it kind of just smelt like I don't know, like
a regular place.
A regular store, which isn't why I go to Games Workshop. I like the musty feel. It's
authentic.
It's like the authenticness.
Right. Yeah. If the body odor doesn't hit you like a wall, then what are you doing there? I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, it's how I clean out my ears. The wax just runs out whenever you get that smell.
Well, moving on. Yeah, it's pretty much the same over here at the Games Workshop stores. The independent stockists, as it's the term is keyed by Games Workshop, they are more. You have to wear a mask, and like our flip side has arrows pointed on, taped on the floor. But
does everyone ignore those? Because everyone ignores those here.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. If there's nobody in there, even I ignore them because there's nobody in there.
Yeah.
Just go whatever aisle I want. But yeah, if there's anybody there, then it's just a good way of getting around. It helps you make the decision instead of just staring at somebody from across the aisle like a Wild West shootout. You can actually look and see which direction to go and just go. So that's nice. But yeah, it's New York is good. We're doing okay. We're happy.
Good stuff.
We're pretty okay because our draconian governor has managed to wrangle things despite the federal government trying to defund us for having a lawless state, which is really interesting. You can hear the riots going on in the background, the shootings. It's terrible. We're just in a hold on. I need to take another pull from my Blue Moon citrus wheat.
Nice.
Oh wow.
I'm drinking light beer because I,
It's early in the day. Let's start off with,
it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and that somewhere is England. We're talking to England, so I can drink, right?
I appreciate. I think last time we did this, it was like 2 a.m, so I'm quite happy that it's not.
No, it's like 10 at night. 10 at night.
That's probably when we started.
Yeah. Then it went to like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and when we talked to you last time, it was around this time. It was after you had recorded. We were on your show. I'm not even sure. Did that even ever end up being published?
Yes, of course it was published. Like large parts of it were redacted, and that's mainly because
which is a good idea.
I don't have enough money to fight the legal costs, the legal battle against like iTunes for the profanity level. Like I think you invented a new swear word. Like,
was that me?
No, it was definitely Adam. Like Loopy definitely invented swear words.
Loopy just had a very favourite word. That's all I remember from it.
You know what?
Yeah, I know which one it is.
Word. It describes literally the best part of the human body. It's
the armpits.
It's a silky smooth word. Anyway, we were thinking about talking. How are things in Texas, Jason? Anyways, moving on.
I sit in my. Hey, hold on. We're having a cold front this weekend. I think it's supposed to drop down to like 80 Fahrenheit. So what is that in Celsius?
Oh, no idea.
I don't know.
Hang on. I'll find out. Keep going.
26 degrees.
26 degrees.
That's our idea of a cold front, which is pretty rad. It's not like 33 or 34 or 35.
I think it was 10 degrees here yesterday.
Yeah, we were at 10 degrees yesterday.
And that's still warm.
Yeah, that's not even winter yet. That's autumn.
But it's all right, though, because climate change doesn't exist, so...
It's going to be 80 tomorrow here, too. I think it's going to be the same temperature tomorrow here as it is in Texas.
Oh, wow. Forces will be cold. For you, it's probably going to be warm.
Yes. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. What? 2020 is fine. We're going to be fine.
I want to forget 2020. Like, I think...
Yes, please.
What good things have really come out of 2020?
Oh. The only thing I'm worried about is if in 2021 we look fondly back at 2020.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
I want to see the terms and conditions of 2021 before I press agree.
Yeah.
I'll actually read those.
Yeah.
Oh, no. All right. I need another pull off there. Hold on a second. Brewed with tangerine peel.
Ooh.
But only 3.6 grams of carbs per can. So it's pretty good.
Okay, but what is the... I'm not even...
So Sam and Matt, what's your 9th edition experience been like so far? Have you played any? I know you guys play a lot of Horus Heresy, also COVID. So have you been paying any attention?
Yeah, we've been doing a bit. I think both of us have had our first game. I did a kind of special scenario with a friend of ours, and I run my Tyranids in kind of a wave after wave thing just to learn the rules. And I think we got to like turn 16 or something, just murdering. It was great. And we went, they're a married couple as well as me and Jenny, and we got together and the kids played. And on the Saturday, the girls got to go out and do something. And then on Sunday, me and Tim sat down and played this all day. And it was really, really cool weekend. And yeah,
now in England that's called dogging. Just to let everybody know.
Oh no, it was
not quite true. No, we were in a house, not a car.
Inside. Yeah, so it wasn't in
dogging
a.
is when you play Warhammer in a car. Got it. All right, keep going.
Yeah.
There we go.
Wait, what?
So what you do? So dogging is like you're in a car park, and then you flash your lights twice if you're okay, like for people to come see you, and 3 times is that you're interested in seeing them, and there's like a whole etiquette. I'll send you a blog. It's fun.
All right. Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead. Go
Sure,
ahead,
man.
So anyway, I brought Tyranids and just did a wave after wave, started really, really low. And Tim played, I think, something like 25 power level of Raven Guard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just to see how long they would survive. And he had the opportunity of reinforcing, but then if he did that, I got extra reinforcements to my Tyranid waves. And yeah, it was just fun to learn the rules, really. We just threw it out there as there's not going to be a winner. We're just going to keep going until either time runs out or one of us is completely dead. Just have some fun with it. And do you know what? After the first 2 turns of kind of getting back into the flow of it, after, COVID and not having games anyway, but also being much more kind of heresy gaming for us the last year. So getting back in the swing of 40k took a while, but by that turn 15, 16, we weren't even needing to pick up the rule book. We were just running really smoothly.
That sounds like a genius way to do it, Matt, to be honest. Doing something like that had never occurred to me, but yeah, by the time time had run out, you guys were probably 9th edition experts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was a few weeks ago now, so now I might as well have never played. But yeah, at the time I felt great.
That's awesome. What was he playing? Was Space Marines?
He's doing a Primaris Raven Guard force.
Oh, yeah.
So he had some intercessors and a couple of captains, a tactical war suit, and I think some eliminators.
Those war suits are so cool looking.
Yeah, they are cool.
Yeah,
and they're quite brutal as well. Actually, they hit pretty hard.
Oh yeah,
yes,
definitely.
They do.
I played a game with Jason a few weeks ago, couple months, whatever.
Yeah, it's been months now.
We played a game, and I was like, "I'm gonna assault your war suit," and he was like, "Well, in combat, I will still shoot you," and I was like, "Oh, well, balls. That's right."
Yeah.
That's caught me out a couple times. 2 nights ago, I assaulted somebody's repulsor executioner with my succubus. I'm like, all right, good. I locked this down. He's like, I'm just going to shoot her with all of my guns except for the frag storm grenade launchers, which are blast. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. She's dead now.
I always used to love that about the orc tank buster knob who could have rocket pistols.
Yes.
So fun. Just being like, oh, I'm going to challenge your knob. He hasn't got a power claw. I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm going to shoot you with 2 strength 8 AP3 weapons. Have fun with that.
Yes, so good. And 3 damage.
Yep.
3 damage with those pistols. It's gross. Sam, have you done any 9th edition gaming?
I did. I played against Tennell or Flooney. I think you might know him as.
Oh,
yeah.
Was he in Tennell?
Yeah. I played against his the Space Wolves. He keeps sending us photos of. I played against
those. Look so good.
So I took Gene Stealer Cult, and I was determined not to do my normal and take like 3 squads of 30 Gene Stealers. And I took like bikers and a couple of the buggies and stuff. And I got absolutely ruffle stomped turn 3. Like I got annihilated. It was a little bit brutal, but it was, as a first learning experience, I think it was great to kind of get my first foray into it, and also it really helped me made up my mind to then now start playing Space Marines.
Right.
Like, 'cause if you can't beat them,
Blood Angels,
join them. Yeah, exactly. So I've already purchased a 25 power level Blood Angel force. So let's see how that one goes. But the Gene Stealer Cult were good. I just played them really wrong. Like the fact that actually bikers are 2 wounds and not the 1 wound that I thought they were. And the fact that like you can shoot in combat, which I didn't really know about or do anything like that. And it was mainly down to my incompetence as to why it didn't go so well. And I think it's probably because of the size of the game. So I played 1,000 points, and actually I think it probably would be better to start off at like 25 power level, or something super small that you can really learn how to use
combat patrol size.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't try and it's like trying to sprint before you can even open a book.
Yeah, we found that
not how it goes.
Combat, right? Hey, mixed metaphors are allowed on the shit show. So
that's true.
That 25 power level combat patrol on the small size battlefield on the, was it 30 by 44 size? 30 by 44 is pretty good. I think it works really well. The 1,000 points or 50 power level at the incursion level, it's a little too many models for that little battlefield, I think.
Yeah, the battlefield sizes are slightly confusing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe it's just because I'm lazy and I don't really want to have to look at getting a new battlefield. But like, if they just worked it up in increments of like 1 by 4, so like we play on. Hang on, I need to maths. We play on a 6x4, right?
Yeah.
And our 6x4s are made up of 3 2x4 boards. And if they just went, okay, cool, so you can play on a 4x4 or a 2x4, or it would make a lot more sense for us. But it just feels like they went, right, how many folded bits of cardboard can we get into one of our boxes?
Well, that's literally what they did.
So that we can then get them to play on that.
Yeah. And we can, get everyone's money to get the official sizes of gaming tables by buying our products and not other people's.
Then they might not have understood the flexibility of the mat makers. Like they were selling them before the game was even released.
Yeah.
But I tend to agree. But don't forget, it's a minimum.
Yeah.
It's not the prescribed size. So if you want to
play
play
like that they did
2x4, play on a 2x4.
Yeah. I like I quite like 4x4 game, like the 4x4s, like ZM style that we normally would play. So actually, it just means that I'll play more of my ZM board or more of my, or just my normal board, but just use some of it to put models on. Like,
right. Now, I'll let you know. We do have some 9th edition Zone Mortalis rules that we'd love people to playtest for us. If that's
that would be so up for that. I've been watching you post things. I just haven't been able to catch up yet.
Right. I've been posting
we'd love
a lot of those. Just like I've been doing a lot of edits and stuff, but what it needs is actual playing for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I can do that.
I know you guys love Zone Mortalis.
Yeah, Sam's now got a full Forge World board after me bullying him into buying one. So,
Dude,
all right.
It looks so good.
Yes.
It used to look shit, but then you changed it and now it looks good.
I mean, I haven't changed it. So is it still shit? No, I have. It's now red-ish. It's getting more red.
Yeah.
More red.
Mm-hmm. It's got like hazard.
Are you airbrushing or?
Yeah. So it took me. I was talking about. It took maybe 2-3 hours just to masking tape up like 5 tiles. Like, it's going to be so slow. But it's okay because it's the type of thing that I can just pick, because the color scheme is super easy to airbrush, that I can just pick one tile and go, right, I'm going to take one tile to completion over the weekend or today. So it'll be fine. I'll get there eventually. And it will look really, really good, hopefully, when it's done. And I love a painted board, so it'll get there. Maybe.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's
It'll
awesome.
get there.
Better than my
I don't
2x4.
play mine enough. So,
well, you got to cart yours to the game store, and you're not carting anything to the game store currently, except for, like
my wallet.
Bad emotions. Yeah,
that too.
Yeah, I liken the board to orcs. Like, on the surface, they seem like, oh yeah, just like knock up like 20 orc boys. It'd be super easy to paint. And then actually you realize how much detail is on the suckers. Yeah. Like how much detail is on this DM board. Like, just pipes running everywhere and weird little outcrops and stuff. So it'll get there. It just, I was fully convinced I was going to paint a full board in like a weekend, and that was never going to happen.
You got through like 4 tiles.
Yeah, 4 or 5 tiles.
It's like a quarter of the board.
Jason eschewed sleep for like a week and got it done in a week, didn't you, Jason?
I got done 4 days, but I didn't do all the detail. Like I really didn't. I went through and hit all the main spots and then hit it with washes to bring up definition in those areas, and that's about it.
Yeah. Did you have the same issue where the cast is in some spots just super bad, like where there's like a pipe that just disappears, like it doesn't end? Yeah.
I had that, and I also had, here's a fun one. I had parts of the mold in mine.
It's yours.
Whenever I was, because whenever I was, I was going through and doing the mold, like washing off the mold release, I kept finding like blue slivers, this light blue stuff that was embedded, and I was picking it out. Like I've got a lot of air pockets, on the sides, which is fine. I can just say it's damage.
The Thunderhawk that I'm working on, it has pieces of the mold in the resin.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
You should keep it and then slowly build up your own Thunderhawk cast. Mold.
So Matt, are you excited to work? Has 9th edition inspired you to work on any new projects?
So right now we're working towards a heresy event that was supposed to be September this month, but it's been pushed to March next year.
You're running, right? Like this is something you guys are putting together?
Yeah,
or are you
we're putting together our own event for next year. This is one that we were going to this year, which is now next year. So I'm currently still working on that. Is
Ultramarines or?
Yeah, so I've got an Ultramarines tank company, but I've also got my Night Lords, which are my primary legion, and I have changed my list around earlier in the year, and I'm just very slowly painting it up. But yeah, I have all the models for that, which is nice. I've just got to put paint to models and get it done. But yeah, I think I'm going to start 9th edition with my Tyranids. They've sat in a box for probably 2 editions now, so I feel like dust them off, have some fun, play some cool stories, and then I think I'm going to revisit my Space Wolves, which have again sat out for a little while, and get the new Ragnar and bring them back with a bit of a vengeance.
See, I've been getting super into of wanting to try grimdark style.
Okay.
So Centennial painted his in a grimdark style, some more like muted tones rather than kind of like the characteristic like bright yellow shoulder pads and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And I think he's been working on that, and I've been looking, and there's not really that many Blood Angel people doing it out there. And actually, it would mean that I don't have to, because I have never been able to get the perfect Blood Angel red that I want. Like really bright cherry red kind of style. And I think I might just try and avoid it and just find some like grim dark, like grim, grimy oil slick and dark, and then basically just cover all over in battle damage, and then hopefully that will work. But I don't know.
Have you ever tried an oil wash?
No,
never.
Well, so give this a shot. Go to your art store. Go to your art store. Pick up some either dark sepia or black or both. It's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Oil paints. Just paint one miniature, just bright red, like Evil Sun Scarlet, something like. Just get it as bright and shiny as possible. Lay down a gloss coat.
Okay.
And wash it with this, or just paint it basically with this oil paint after that's set. Then you take a rag with mineral spirits or just any paint thinner really, but the odorless mineral spirits is better, and just wipe it off. In crafting, they call that antiquing. You're just like you're removing the overcoat instead of, it's kind of like the opposite of a wash.
Yeah.
Okay.
You paint over with this oil paint, and then you wipe it off, and it creates a really kind of shadowy, almost like a more contrasty, darker scheme.
Okay, I'll definitely try that.
Might be an easy way to start off on that process, because it'll make that red kind of oily, and it might be an interesting way to go ahead and do that.
So this really threw me off for a long time. Mineral spirits is white spirit.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it was all over one of the groups I was on, and they were like, "Yeah, just get some mineral spirits." And I was trying to like Google it on like
Evian
B&Q
water
or Wix, and I was like, "What's a mineral spirit? Like mineral water type thing?" And it's white spirit. It is white spirit.
Yeah, and I don't know what when you call it mineral spirits, it almost makes it seem like it'll be.
I can drink it, right?
Yeah, this is fine. This is like
Sure,
totally legitimate thing. I can
does
use
explain America a bit.
Yeah, I can use this in an enclosed space and be fine. No. It's still, and it says it's called odorless mineral spirits. It is not odorless.
No.
That's the last thing that it is. Cool. Jason, what are you kind of inspired to work on anything?
for ninth edition?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. So, we were talking about that war suit, and we were playing that through Tabletop Simulator, and because it basically overperformed, I felt like I had to go buy one. Right. So I'm actually like painting on it as we're speaking.
Yeah, Games Workshop needs to put out some files for Tabletop Simulators, because all TTS does is make me want to buy things. I've bought 2 board games because I played them on Tabletop Simulator.
Okay. Oh yeah, cool. You bought the bird game, didn't you? That bird watching game.
I bought that. I bought the Wingspan game, and I bought
a bird watching game.
It's a
and
is that like a really middle-aged thing to do?
It's a game based on bird habitats. It's a bird habitat game, but it's really a cascading action game. So it's just a really good game.
Cool.
And I bought that because of Tabletop Simulator, and I bought Space Base. Yeah. Space Base because I played it on Tabletop Simulator. So
I
think if Games Workshop put out if they put out actual files for Tabletop Simulator, I think it would actually improve their sales, not decrease them. But anyways, go ahead, Jason. You bought you had to buy a
I had to buy the war suit because it just got ridiculous. It just overperformed, and then I ended up buying the Daka Jet because we used it in that one game, and it was like, well, okay. And I'm trying not to pull the trigger on the Helldrake because I used it in that one game and named it Scraps.
But it didn't really do anything. Oh, but you did name it.
Yeah, I did name it. Well, I mean, it didn't do anything because the Exalted Sorcerer just kept walking around smacking, everything around and killing it without trying.
That's true. The Sorcerer did really overperform in that game quite a bit. I've been trying to get a game with Sam on Tabletop Simulator, but this whole
he doesn't respond to my messages.
5-hour difference thing is a little rough.
Sometimes. I swear I'm always messaging you and you just never respond to me.
Oh, do I have you blocked?
What a dick.
I really hope you do.
Don't worry, I don't keep a grudge or anything like that. Like,
okay.
Yeah, we need to do some more. We need to do some cross podcast Tabletop Simulator. Oh, you know what? I never mentioned that these guys are from the Adeptus Terra podcast. However, I don't think we need to because we have that commercial.
Oh yeah, there's an advert somewhere in the show.
We are basically a household name. Like we are pretty big
in about 4 households.
I mean, in 4 households, 2 of them are ours.
What's mine? Okay, and Adam. Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. So when it comes to so not only has COVID caused issues, but social unrest has been pretty rough. Have you guys decreased your surface area at all with the community, or are you rolling with the punches?
So we kind of hate people anyway.
Aren't they the worst?
We don't tend to. We're quite an introverted gaming group, where we don't normally go out and play it like a Wayland or other. I shouldn't mention their name because they're shit. Other store providers. We don't tend to go and play there. So I mean, not really. Like I haven't played anyone new, but I have been. I joined a Southeast where we live. I joined a Southeast Horus Heresy group with the aim to start playing more. And I think it's the same place that like Striking Scorpion plays, and because he's fairly local to us. And basically, like halfway through lockdown, they were like, "Well, due to COVID, actually, we don't want any more members. So unless we've met you, we're going to kick you out of the group." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I don't know about civil unrest. It's more that people don't want us anymore.
Yeah,
I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah,
I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, I like playing at each other's houses. I much prefer that. We don't have that kind of big, friendly local gaming store kind of vibe here. I don't know.
No, not really.
Yeah, I think people don't want us either, but that's fine. We played the recording that the Black Library narrator put out of the Games Workshop inclusivity statement.
Oh yes,
yeah.
We literally lost 300 listeners.
Wow,
whoa,
great.
But that's fine.
Amazing.
That's fine. You don't need those.
Yeah, that's what you want.
No, we're very excited. We were actually quite surprised those people were still hanging out. I thought for sure that they would have already kind of seen the writing.
I thought they would have gone long ago.
Yeah,
yeah, I did too. So I have a Horse Heresy question for you guys. Have y'all picked up the new Crusade book?
No,
only because I don't want a book full of chaos. I'm a loyalist player, so I mean, I don't need it.
Well, I didn't know I'd set you up that well. I wished I would have worked on that one a little bit harder. Okay, good. I like that answer.
Yeah. No, so a bunch of the guys, I guess, from our regular group. So a few of our listeners, they've picked it up, and we're in like a little chat Facebook group type thing. And they. I think they're like super invested in it. They kind of really like it. And one of our friends, Simon, he's our local Dark Angel player, and he seems super into it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's just waiting for his copy to still be delivered, I think. But yeah, I haven't. And you're a Night Lords player, so technically you should have it, right?
No, screw that. I mean, it's all right. We've had some point changes, a new unit, and a new weapon, I think, and very little. So I'll be probably having a look at other people's. Like if Simon gets one, I can have a look at that. And I mean, Battlescribe updates all the points and stuff for me, so there's not really much in there for me. It'd be cool to have for the story and the campaign, but dropping that kind of money is something that this year I cannot do.
No, and the black books are brilliant if you want to be able to like hold up a table or a door open for a long period of time.
Kill someone breaking into your house.
Kill someone breaking into your house. Yeah, like
I'm down a bunch of drying paint on terrain.
Do you know what I used my Blood Angel one for? I used it to my the green painter mat things. I don't know if they're a UK only thing. But they're like it's like a big green mat that you can paint on. It's like you cut on it, you score it, and
like a cutting board,
like a cutting board type thing. There's a particular brand in that I use, and it always, where it's in the conservatory all the time, it always gets really hot and then bends into weird shapes because it's in it's not laid flat. So I use my black books mainly to weight that down. And straighten that out.
All right, hold on. We have some introductions to make. We have another person joining us. Our friend Carl. Hi, Carl.
How's it going?
Awesome, doing good. You sound pretty
Congratulations on 150 episodes.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
You didn't tell me the celebrity was coming.
Oh God. Adam's already here.
That's right. I'm already here. I already told you I'm not the oh no, you weren't here for that. I'm not the big celebrity anymore. We're losing listeners left and right. It's pretty great.
It's Jason Motif.
Jason Motif.
I am here. Yes.
He's the big damn hero of the group.
For those who don't know, I tried to call out Jason on our show. I did not put two and two together that you Masters of the Forge. I was like, how do you pronounce this guy's last name?
I've had a good laugh about that.
So dumb.
It's because Jason likes to keep us separated from his real friends. He has his own real friends Facebook page, and then he has us.
You know what? I've recently culled my Facebook page of about 460 people, just because I've kind of like it's just it's like omnipresent, and it's like just constantly there. And I was talking to a friend of mine who will go unnamed, and they have they haven't deleted their Facebook page, but they've like removed it from their phone. They just occasionally use it for chat and a couple other things, but they found it was just sucking up, like any free time you have, it just sucks up. And but I have the show attached to the group and all that, and I don't want to abandon that, and I have family on there that I like to stay in touch with, and then personal friends, right? People who I am.
So I went a step further than that, Carl, and I wiped out everyone that wasn't family on my personal account, because I speak with everyone else, like in terms of gaming group friends. We've got Discord, Instagram, and Facebook. Yeah, just sucks so much life out of you.
I have found just removing those people already, like I don't go to Facebook as often as I used to, and I just use it for the groups. Like I actually bookmark the groups so that I just go to the bookmark and skip the front page for the most part.
So I actually am a casualty of the Tuttle Cull.
Sorry,
I am no longer.
I need to check this. Hang on, please say I'm still there. Please.
And it is not intentional. It is just, I'm just cutting it back to the people who I deal with, in person all the time.
Yeah,
and I can still talk with everybody in the group, and I can I'll chat with people if they want to send me a message. But when I started the show, I didn't really think about it, and I just get so many invites.
Yeah.
Hey, be friends. And I'm like, but I don't really know this person, and why am I sharing my personal information with them?
Oh, I completely get it. Matt also unfriended me as well. I think it's just a me thing.
Well, I didn't want to say anything.
Clearly. We all got
kind of hid it amongst the slaughter of 400.
We're still friends. It's fun.
Yes.
Well, that's because Burge is higher than Rose. Like
he hasn't gotten there yet. Facebook's
he can take care of that later this afternoon.
Actually, Facebook.
I didn't mean to take it completely off topic. I apologize.
No, that was literally
that's what
the
we're here for
question.
today.
That's literally the question I just asked. Have you altered your surface area with the Warhammer community since the social unrest and 9th edition and stuff? So that was literally the question you were answering without even.
I have, and not just that. I think that my group, our Facebook group, realistically probably leans left pretty heavily. And
yes, it does.
Yeah. And that's okay by me. Because when we set out to build this group, it was really, and I know this is such a touchy topic, but the fact is we wanted to make people feel like a part of our gaming group. Well, our gaming group has certain ethics that we stand by, right? And so naturally we attract people of a like mind, and so I completely recognize it's a bubble type situation. I'm all for inclusion of everybody as long as it's not at the harm of other people.
Yeah, and that's fair. And let's be perfectly honest, American left is European center, so that's fine. That's fine.
And honestly, I'm much more centered. I just things are just crazy right now.
Crazy. Events have skewed everyone's perception of reality. So
I feel bad for people. I'm empathetic and I only have so much empathy, and then it starts to drain me, and I'm just like, I can't look at Facebook anymore. This is ridiculous. I can barely open the news every morning. I'm like, oh, what crap has happened now?
I mean, it is quite a favorite thing of mine to watch the US version of our news, just to see what happens. It's kind of like a reality TV show.
Oh, crazy different.
Oh, it's crazy different. Like we complain about the fact that we had to ration the amount of toilet roll people are taking, whereas you guys are dealing with a whole overload of stuff.
So, Carl, let me ask you. Let me go back to our first 40K question. What has your 9th edition experience been like so far?
Minimal.
Are you?
Minimal.
Are you okay?
Yeah. Unfortunately, so far I've only played one game. I was supposed to play a game with Jody last week, and then he had to cancel, and then we rescheduled, and I had to cancel. It's just been a nightmare of scheduling lately with so much work in life. And plus, as you may have heard on my show, or listeners of your show who don't listen to my show, my house was hit by a car and it struck the room that we play in, and it destroyed like all my cabinetry. And so the room's a complete disaster. I have like it's an uncomfortable place for us to play in at the moment. And so, until that gets fixed, I may have to go over to Jody's.
Right. And if you ever want to dabble in the tabletop experience,
I don't.
Okay. I know you don't. I know, but if you're ever like so jonesing for some Warhammer 40,000, just
I've heard Adeptus Titanicus works really well in that format too.
It does. I actually played with
Josh,
and it was a really good time, and I think it's only improved.
Yeah. To me, and I've said this as well, 40K is just about a tactile experience for me. And without that, I feel like, it doesn't really, the online thing doesn't really do it for me. I mean, the board gaming online barely does it for me.
but having said that, has the new ninth paradigm and stuff, inspired you to do any new projects or?
Yeah. So actually super excited about Crusade, right? I mean, that's for me like, yes, finally this is going to be really, really fun. And as I was kind of looking at assembling Sisters of Battle, because I have a massive Sisters of Battle army still in shrink wrap for the most part, I was like, here we go. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff, and let's just get it assembled since I can't really paint right now in my current location. So I've started assembling stuff, and then finally I was like, I should be assembling this towards a method. like let's build a 50 power level starting list for Crusade, and then I'll assemble to that, and then I know I'm going to paint this first and then build from there. So it's gotten me kind of going on my Crusade list for my Sisters of Battle. We're about to do a show. We were supposed to be recording yesterday, but unfortunately we had to reschedule that too. We're doing a show on Adeptus Custodes, and our show of Force episodes tend to make people buy those. And we are not immune to that. I will tell you, I have now bought a bunch of Adeptus Custodes.
Oh no.
And I'm letting you know that here before I've announced it on my show. I bought some off eBay or not eBay, but the Barter Bucket, which is the group we use on Facebook, and then I ordered some stuff direct from GW. My wallet is saved by the fact that the Aloris Terminators are out of stock, and almost everything from Forge World is out of stock for Adeptus Custodes. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit safe for the moment. Let's see if this sticks, and if not, I can unload what I've bought. But I am kind of excited about them. They're pretty cool. And I've got a really cool idea.
They're really cool. Man, that Consolidate Out of Combat makes my witches so upset. So upset.
And the other thing is, I'm pretty certain the Forge World compendium that's coming out is going to include all the Forge World stuff, which has been 30K specific, into 40K.
That would be nice. Yeah, Brian and the guys over at Splintermind are real excited to talk about it, and they're just chomping at the bit to talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I'm glad I dropped out of the playtest group, though.
It sounds like it's a lot of work.
Facebook, it was eating up all of my time.
Right. Yeah. Well, I just posted on the IC's what do you call it? The
Facebook group.
No, the other thing, Discord group. My screenshot from BattleTech.
Yeah.
Which was at 800 and something hours.
Oh,
Don't start playing that game, people.
I have it. I played through the opening missions.
Yeah,
I have gotten sucked into another video game. I don't want to talk about it right now because it's just I'm embarrassed.
You know what though? Sometimes those games, and the one thing, talking about COVID and our approach to gaming, sometimes something like that is good for your mental health.
Yeah.
If you just like BattleTech was that for me, where I could just relax, and play through these missions, and it's a turn based, so I can actually do something else while I'm playing too. If I need to jump up and do something with the baby, I can just leave it. So has COVID changed your general approach to gaming? Not just now, you guys, but like in the future. Like Matt and Sam, are you guys gonna change how you're doing things? Like are you gonna, like, your event that you're gonna be running? Are you dialing back the number of people? Oh wait, hold on. There we go. There it is. I'm day drinking, Carl. Sorry.
Hey, so you know what?
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's 5. I was saying earlier, it's 5:00 in England, and we're talking to Englishmen.
When we go to Formula One races, we have breakfast beer. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And what did you say? What did you say? What did you say, Jason? It was very good.
Oh, it's 2020 all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
Fuck yes. Anyways, Matt and Sam, are you going to change how you do your gaming or anything because of COVID? Or
it's definitely the risk involved. So the gaming, the game that we're going to be going to in September, the event was, they've had to move it like twice now. Like they run an alternate one, and they've moved it really far back in March, or so we thought. But now they're talking about COVID kind of being more impactful over winter again, and issues for us. Like if we put an event, it's going to have to be like this time, maybe later next year, like November time, because we just can't.
Yeah, it's really pushed it back for us in terms of date.
Financially, right? It's you're booking an event when there's already a pandemic on, which would mean that you can't, all the insurance and all of the stuff that you can get to cover you if another pandemic or another lockdown comes into effect, you can't get now. So it's almost like you have to book super cautiously and super aware that actually, if it has to move, we have to either refund people because they can't come to the new date, and that would come out of our pockets. So we need to be cautious. Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'll be honest. Like for me, I'm worried about Adepticon. Like I strongly suspect Adepticon may not happen.
Yeah, usually we're booked by now, aren't we?
Yep. Yeah, or getting close, right? And there's really no announcements. And I think I got sick one year there, just the con crud thing, and I think about that, and I'm like, well, I got that. What? There's no defense against this,
No.
I don't. So I
people
think
our age are dying.
Yeah, people younger than us.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't want them to assume that kind of financial risk either, or you guys. I mean, that's just it's brutal. I'd rather hunker down and come out of it healthy, both financially wise, for these events, and personal wise. I honestly, I'm shocked that there is the Las Vegas Open is happening. Like I'm really shocked.
It's happening.
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
Well, I don't think they've. Yeah, I don't. At least I don't think they've said no. And
I just know that I've heard people say, "Well, I'm going," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." I hadn't even looked because I just assumed it was on.
Badcast was just talking about a tournament where people were like, one of the people were like refusing to wear a mask. It's like, if somebody refuses to wear a mask at your event, kick them out. Gone. They need to not be there.
Yeah.
It's
Anyways,
a great picture, I think, of the person, the two people that were naked, and it was, if person A wears trousers when they're taking a piss, then it won't go on them, and if you wear trousers when they're taking a piss, it means it definitely won't go on you. Like, I just don't get it. Like, even if it's all made up and you play into that whole like mask do nothing type vibe, like it's better to wear a mask than not wear a mask, right?
Sure. What does it hurt?
Yeah. All you're doing is, I don't know. People.
It shows on their site January 29th through the 31st of 2021. So unless they've changed something,
it's just like wearing. It's just like wearing a Johnny while the woman's on the pill. Like, it's just double it.
You just do it. You just do it.
If you don't want to,
that's what I was waiting for.
Right? If you don't want to pay child support, then you wrap your tool, man. Like,
it's definitely a different show than mine.
I
would smack Justin across the table.
Well, this is the shit show. Carl. This is
I'm
the
not
shit
editing
show.
this one.
There's no editing happening, and
you guys have put 150 episodes out, dude. I'm telling you, like, people come to my show often and are like, "Hey, we're starting the show, and can you talk about it on your show?" I'm like, "You don't even have 10 episodes out, man." Well, how about we get a good couple dozen under your belt, and then we're happy to help, But at this point, I'm like, shows come and go. To go 150 episodes is a you're going to catch up to me because I'm not putting them out as fast as we used to.
We were weekly for a little bit, and that was too much.
Absolutely screw that.
Oh,
Yeah.
screw
That
that.
was
Monthly,
too
We
enough.
just about make monthly, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. This is what the impetus was. Games Workshop started sending us free stuff, so I felt compelled.
You feel this obligation, right?
I felt obligated to give back to them and get the things reviewed in a timely manner, but you can't.
But the reality is,
It's
they
not
gave you
worth
that stuff based on what you had done previously.
Yeah,
You need to keep that in mind.
yeah, you're absolutely right, Carl. And it's not worth it to just blurt out content as fast as possible if it's not going to have any value.
You lose. I think you lose quality, and yeah, I've always been very focused on. Look, this show's going to be late because we're covering one of the black books. I heard you just talking about that.
Yeah.
That takes us a long time to research,
And it should.
Yeah, because we're going to do it justice, right? And so I'd rather do the quantity over quality of
right. Right. So our listeners, we're getting towards the end here. Our listeners who are listening, they should feel good in knowing that we're going to be having that mentality going forward. Every once in a while, we'll do one of our prototypes episodes where we give you just like kind of a brief rundown of what's in the book, that sort of thing. If you can easily, it's easy to just download the episode and listen to 5 minutes of me saying, yeah, this is the shit that's in the book, then that's fine. But for our
that's exactly what we don't do.
Yeah, but for our actual episodes that actually review the content, like for example, this new Pariah Nexus Beyond the Veil book, Jason and I are probably going to continue our Crusade campaign on Tabletop Simulator, where our Drukhari and Thousand Sons are fighting in the webway. I think maybe there's going to be a call for help or something from the Pariah Nexus that we'll play a game or two using those rules and those scenarios, and that will be the actual content that we do, instead of just saying, let's read through the book and stuff like that. So that's the kind of content you can expect going forward. We may not get to 200 as fast as we got from 100 to 150, but I think it'll
be a solid back half
of
the course.
Exactly.
What would you say is your favorite episode in the last 50?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh, okay. So I just made a brand new website. Speaking of, I totally forgot to mention this. We transferred from WordPress to Drupal, which is what I do professionally.
Why would you do that?
Because Drupal is, I know it back and front, forwards and backwards. I know everything about it. So the cool thing is I have the list of episodes right here with
this thing
one.
Looks like a mess.
Yeah, someone else is trolling even, not me. Okay, I feel better now.
No, it looks great. I actually noticed it the other day. You've had it up for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks, and we actually have a secure HTTP protocol, so we don't have to worry. You can feel safe when you're not submitting to the forms.
You're not
don't
submitting
have
any personal information. Oh, this looks really good.
So, oh man, that healthcare in 40K was really good, I think.
Yeah, that one was.
What people come to it, they want obscure lore, but also rules, like custom rules to go with that obscure lore. So the healthcare in 40K was a good one for that, I think. And Goodest Friends of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that was one I was actually going to say.
That one's awesome. I so want Games Workshop to do a mini pets game. I want them to put out plushies for all the little cool things like Nurglings, and I want a mini pets game based on kind of like Pokemon. So you put out your plushie, and your plushie fights your friend's plushie. I think that would be amazing. Okay, Orktober 2018, because I helped work on the Orcs Codex. I guess I have to say that one too.
Yeah, and we recorded that was that the one we recorded in that
sketchy
hotel?
Recorded in sketchy hotel in Texas where there were I'm like, are there really supposed to be this many cockroaches? And you're like, kinda.
They're your goodest friends.
I used to live about a mile from that hotel, and whenever you said that place, I was like, you know what? I've got all my shots. It's not a big deal.
Oh my God. No,
stuff
I would still go back to Austin in a heartbeat. Austin is cool.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Sam?
You have to worry about the stuff that you can't take shots against, like STIs. That kind of stuff.
But listen, I went to a southern state and I took a lazy river tube ride. I actually went down a Texas river in an inner tube.
That's how you lose a foot.
I am inoculated against everything now, so I'm good to go.
Oh, you're in the tourist area. I mean, go out somewhere else that's a little funkier and see what you come back with. You know, I've been in those areas. Just like, are you sure we should tube here? I'm pretty sure we won't get shot. Oh, okay, cool, okay. Yeah.
I mean, I've never had to, while wandering through the country, like in the UK, I've never thought, am I going to get shot being here?
Just trespass on some farmers' fields. Yeah, I've definitely had that fear.
Yeah, they're allowed to have shotguns, right? Like you can have rifles and shotguns in the UK, can't you?
Yeah, you can still get licensing for hunting.
You had a shotgun in your pocket, though.
Just wear a Jimmy.
Well, we were talking about dogging it earlier, so you know.
So, if anybody's, I think that's a good piece of advice. If anybody's looking to start a podcast, there are more narrative podcasts out there, but have a niche, have a regular release schedule. I think those are good. That's good advice. Oh, there is I didn't know it existed. There's a podcast called Warhammer. Apparently they're popular. I tried it out and man, that's a professional outfit right there. If you want pure lore, those guys rule. And they have video and everything, and they're not fascist scumbags like a lot of lore people are. So that's also I mean, as far as I know, they're not fascist scumbags. The few episodes I've listened to, they're pretty good too. Any other advice for people who want 150 episodes in a podcast?
You definitely got to find your own voice. I mean, you kind of hit it on the head. Like there are so many podcasts out there right now that you need to, what are you providing that they aren't? And you can't say, oh, well, I have a different, it's me and my friend. Like it has to be a different take on it.
Yeah.
It has to be something unique. And as much as I don't listen to every episode of Life After the Cover Save, this is the thing I appreciate about their show is that they do something nobody else does.
Right. Yeah.
And they're good at improv and that kind of stuff. And I mean, I've listened to their episode and been, oh man, we should do more stuff like that. I'm like, that's not me. Like, that's not, that's them, and they're great at it. And it's not for everybody. Like that show's not for everybody. But my point is they have a unique take that nobody else has, right? You guys have. We talked about it before you even launched the show, Loopy, about what was your take going to be, and we bandied ideas back and forth too. And I think you've got a really unique take on this as well. And there's probably 100 competitive themed podcasts out there. What are they doing different from each other? I don't know. I don't know. I don't listen to those.
It's hard to say. but like podcasts like the competitive podcasts, the difference has to be quality.
I would say so.
You know,
I would say, look, I mean, I'm not in that scene, but if I were, the thing I would, and some of these are doing is they have top tournament players, as regulars, the guys that are winning, like those, that's your objective, right? How we're going to teach you how to win, or I don't know if that is your objective or whatnot, but it gives you a level of credibility at that point. Yeah, I remember there was a competitive podcast a number of years ago that I was listening to at one point, and then they did some coverage of like the Chaos Space Marine Codex, something I was intimately familiar with at that point, and it was like wrong thing after wrong thing, and I was just like, this is why I wasn't a competitive podcast, like because
11th Company, Hot Street Trash.
What's that?
11th Company, Hot Street Trash.
I'm not naming names. I don't want to disparage anybody for putting their look. You put out a free product, and nobody should complain about it. They either like it or they don't. If you don't like it, go listen to something else.
Yeah, cool. Listen to something else.
I think obviously we've not reached 150 episodes just yet. We're nearly
just
there.
done 73 today. Yeah,
so we're not there yet.
Incredibly, probably have more listeners than.
I think what? They probably do have more listeners than we do.
I'm teasing. I kid.
Oh, that's true.
Hey, we haven't reached the 1 million per episode yet, like I see.
We do not have 1 million per episode.
but so I think one main thing. So we've had people talk to us about starting podcasts and stuff, and I think the main thing that we try and tell them is to not worry about how many people are listening.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start trying to grasp more listeners or compare numbers and stuff, then you lose the reason you're doing it. Like we did it ultimately because
100% agree with you.
Like Matt had just had a kid, like we were spending less time together, and this meant that we got a solid like 5-6 hours once a month together where it would just be us just shooting the shit and talking about the.
But it comes through. If you're enjoying it, it comes through. If you're just chasing listeners, it sounds thirsty. And I completely agree with you on that. And I've told, I took a break for a year, and I've told people, if this ceases to become fun, I'm done. Like that's
right. You have to.
The fun comes through.
Like we have a meeting every year, like normally in January, and we get together and like no, we don't record, nothing like that. It's just an honest conversation as to, do you want to continue doing this? Is this?
I think that's a good idea.
Like, do you want to do it? How do you want to do it? Do you want to bring in changes? Like, what do you want to do differently? And actually, if Matt was like, I think I'm done, I can't commit the time, then it would stop. Like, ultimately, it would stop. My hobby would still continue. I just wouldn't record every month. Like, right. And that's why I think when times are really hard, and there has been some hard times over the years with just getting together and recording, and it means that we can just walk away, and actually, who really gives a shit? Really, like it's the reason we do it.
The interesting thing, to Loopy's point earlier, where he was talking about, Games Workshop was sending us stuff, and so we felt this obligation to, I'm gonna walk away from free material, or it's, to be honest, like, first off, it's not that much that they typically are sending us.
It's like $50 a month, maybe.
Maybe. We got sent the new starter set. Okay, cool. And you get it a little bit early, but 2 weeks later, everybody's got it. So, okay, there's a diminishing return value there. And quite frankly, I make enough. I can buy this. I would buy it anyway. It's not a huge draw for me, but there's a nice, like, well, I've made all these inroads and I got contacts over there, and I'm kind of tossing that out, and that weighs on you a little bit. But in the long run, you're 100% right. If you are not having fun with it, why continue? Or if life needs to take precedence, life needs to take precedence. But I think you guys hit a lot of nails on the head there with if you're gonna start a podcast now, first ask yourself why.
Right.
Yeah.
And if it's because it looks fun, well, it is fun. Okay, what is it that you're looking for? Because if you're just looking, I will tell you honestly, I had not looked at my numbers in like 6 months. And then Adon asked me about them because he was curious how Lords and Heroes were doing in comparison. And And I was like, well, this is where it looks like we're sitting. And, and I'll tell you, I mean, we're at 15 to 18,000 downloads per episode within about 2 to 3 weeks after the episode releases. And, okay, cool. This is where we sit. And, some episodes do more, some do less. It's not 1 million downloads per episode. But it's a respectable number. And I mean, when you look at that over the course of 200 and something episodes, each episode averages probably 3 hours. There's a lot of hours of content out there.
Yeah. And you have to love it to put that much content out, and you have to love your listeners too.
Oh yeah. They're really the thing that keeps me coming back, honestly. Right.
And, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but like the fact that we lost a market, like that specific number of people, because we played that recording, I have to be happy about that, because that means about it. Yeah, that means that the people who are listening are the people we want to talk to.
You're connecting with. Yeah. And I have said, if this group was 50 people that were all of the same mindset, that's what I was shooting for.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's I don't even know how many people we have in our Facebook group. Like, I think it was over 5,000 or something.
And we're not trying to be above it. Oh, go ahead, Jason.
No, what I was going to say is, I'm not sure how. I mean, I think all of you know that I teach music technology and whatnot. I'm actually creating a class, a special topics class on creating podcasts. From start to beginning. And
can I take it?
Yeah, can I take it? Well,
special guest lecture.
Well, I'm a lot of things that you guys were saying was stuff that I already was thinking, that one I'd heard from you before, but also, my own experiences. Like, I won't listen to a new podcast until they're on episode 15. I mean, I'm not trying to be a jerk.
Our first 15 episodes are terrible.
Oh yeah. I wish I could delete us.
I don't know that anyone really knows how I got involved with Masters of the Forge, because, but I'll go ahead and let you know. The podcast had begun. I was still living in Texas before I moved to New York, and I was, enjoying the podcast, but I kept sending messages to Adam saying, "Hey, you guys have these technical issues. Can you fix this? Because it's driving me crazy, and you guys are great." And so then I ended up moving up to New York around episode 10 or so. And I think maybe 6 months later, I was editing the podcast.
I mean, if I could find, if you want to come and help us and edit our podcast, then I will be more than happy for you to come do that. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, today I have we're going to have the explicit tag off because, I'm not editing this today.
It's been fairly light.
Well, normally, I've got all sorts of stuff. Yeah, it has actually been fairly light. I mean, we even talked about dogging for 30 seconds.
Wait. You're right. It has been a little. Hold on.
Oh, God, no.
Let's turn it on. Turn it up.
Didn't you just open one?
What?
Welcome to Masters of the Forge, Carl.
No, it's just time just flies by when you're having fun, Carl.
Adam, is that your new take on the podcast, just day drinking?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We've day drinking 40K and it'll be Carl's show.
To finish up, more than likely I will probably, contact you guys in the future for, helping me put together some maybe guest lectures or whatnot. My students do not know that I'm a 40K person, so they know
students
nothing.
Do not know, or they do know?
They do not know. This is completely. I don't talk about what I do outside of work with them because I like to be left alone. I do like a little bit of privacy in my life.
It's good call.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. You don't. It's not that you're ashamed. It's just that you want your time separate from the work, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, the other issue is
hiding it from a spouse is another story, but hiding it from your students, that's fine.
Well, I teach music, and honestly, music at the college level is 13th grade because music students spend all their time together. They go to all their classes together. I mean, that's just how it is. And so I just want to be left alone. I don't want them in my face.
It's fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Carl, do your people know what you do?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they know.
Oh yeah. I was just having a
Go ahead.
So at this level, at work, like
you're at a pretty high level.
Yeah, and I'm still learning like how to be a vice president, and that's one of the great things about the company I'm at. Like, they hired me not because I'm a great vice president. They promoted me not because I'm a great vice president, but because they see that potential, right? I was a senior director, and the opportunity came along, and so listen, every day I'm getting coaching from my boss. Well, that's not VP thinking. Well, Carl, all right, and so we're going back, and then she'll be like, think about it like you're army men, right? Like, I'll be like, man, shut up.
What if Abaddon were here right now?
What would he say, Carl? Would he go do that himself, or would he send off some chaos assassins to go take care of that?
Right. Would Ahriman show up at this meeting himself, or would he send his lackeys?
Or would he send a lackey? Why are you here? Yeah. No, trust me. Everybody from, I don't know if the CEO knows, probably at this point. I'm sure my boss has made fun of me in the executive meeting. Well, guess what Carl does,
How many?
I get teased about it a lot, but it's all in good nature. Like, everybody's like, yeah, do it. But again, we're here in Silicon Valley, like,
But it's
everybody is a nerd up. Yeah,
it's the whole so Duncan. It's like Duncan Rhodes when Duncan left GW, and it was like I was saying to my wife, I was like, "Oh, Duncan's leaving. I wonder what he's going to do." And she was like, "Who's Duncan?" Like, he's 40K famous. Like, outside of that,
I have a friend at work. She's in HR, and her son went to University of Colorado. Did the I don't remember what they call it, the testing for collegiate athletes trying to go pro, and he did very well, right? But he had gotten injured as a collegiate athlete at one point, and so they were a little concerned about this reoccurring injury. So he ended up not making the professionals, but for a little bit, it was looking like he's either going to go to the Broncos or he's going to go to the 49ers. And I was like, wow, can he, I almost threw her name out there, but I was like, this is very exciting, and you must be so proud, and blah, blah, blah. And so is one of these, there it is. She's one of these people that has teased me about the podcast all the time. And she says, oh, so you're famous. And I go, I am not famous. I am known in a very small niche community of people. She goes, anybody ever ask for your autograph? And I go, well, okay, yeah, a couple of people. She goes, see, you're famous, right? And so she'd tell everybody that she'd introduce me to, oh, Carl's famous, he runs a podcast, blah, blah. Like, oh my God, stop. So her son comes into the office one day, and I'm like, oh man, it's exciting to meet you, and blah, blah, blah. And I heard so much about you, and very excited, and hopefully this all works out. And he's like, yeah, we'll see. I got some other things in the mix if this doesn't work out. I'm like, okay. And I go, hey, can I get your autograph? Like that. And then I look over his mom, and she starts laughing, and I go, I'll give you mine.
Yes.
That's great.
Then I left it to her to explain why that was funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I really appreciate everybody coming on. Do you guys have
inviting me?
You got anything else you want to chat about? Oh, Matt and Sam, do you have anything coming up for the Adeptus Terra podcast, or is COVID got you on lockdown?
Nothing event-wise. Obviously, we have our community safe room, which is always nice to plug, and we have our regular monthly hobby hangouts, which are normally pretty cool. People come along, and we're now doing them on Facebook because Facebook allows more than 10 people, and the more the better. We normally get a good 10 10, 12 people come along and join us and just sit there and paint and hang out, which have been really good in COVID.
Tomorrow, right?
There is one tomorrow, but
Okay,
obviously this will be out after that, I guess. So,
actually,
I don't know,
we're
man.
trying to get
I'm pretty
this in
quick.
before the end of the month.
No editing. Just upload this bad boy.
This mother
Yeah, I'm not editing.
music in front, music in back, good to go.
and it's tomorrow. So if you want to come along. If not, then there'll be one at the end of next month.
Yeah,
I'm
something
always there.
that we've been running this year that I'm just going to take the opportunity to plug is our 2020 V challenge, as in 2020 vision. This is before.
I've been wondering what the
world
V
blew up.
stands for, actually.
Yeah, so the idea was at the start of the year, we were like, this is going to be the best year ever. And then it exploded in our face.
So
We're running that ad for a carrying case situation, and they always go, welcoming you into 2020, and I'm like, oh god.
Yeah. Don't say those
Well, hey, it's better than this is Caleb and this is also Caleb, or Cat and this is also Cat.
I don't know why they insist
What are
on
you
doing
doing? Anyways, go ahead, Matt.
I was just saying our 2020 V challenge is running until the end of the year. The idea is that you paint a unit, you post it up, and it counts as an entry. Every month you can enter once, and then at the end of the year you get a prize. So we're going to be pulling 3 winners out of all the entries. We've got a start collecting box going to someone. We've got a £50 voucher from
one of our Exit 23, one of our sponsors.
Exit 23 Games. He distributes Turbo Dork paints and loads of other stuff.
I've
And
heard.
we have 12 painted models.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also a free ticket to our first ever Heresy event happening
Oh, that is really cool.
next year.
Where's that going to be?
Somewhere we don't know yet. Venues are being a bit difficult to find.
I'm sure.
Venues keep closing down, so it's slightly difficult. But there's one super close to us, which is in like a nature park, which sounds super cool.
It's got like fire pits and a private area and like a lake out the back and stuff. So we're looking into that. It could be really fun.
Matt, if I were to come to your event, would my Imperial Knight Army be allowed to?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
That's
We don't discriminate against knights.
No,
The last time I was in England, I bought like $500 worth of Forge World Resin Imperial Knights.
So you
And
got
I have yet to play. I've yet to play Horus Heresy with my Imperial Knights.
Mate, you are more than welcome, Loopy. If you paint a model and enter, you never know. You might win the free ticket to the event. It'll only be the expensive flight that you'll need to pay for.
I'll tell you what. British Airways is a delight.
We'll see.
Right. Yeah, it's a good point.
This might be a delight. They were a delight.
Yeah. All right, cool. Carl, do you have anything going on? How's it? What do you have you made any decisions on what to do with like campaign wise or with the?
Still working on that. I was thinking it was keeping me up at night last night, actually. So,
right.
Yeah, I need to announce something very soon. There will be an announcement next week.
All right, cool. At any rate, Independent Characters has a Patreon that you can join and
don't worry.
A bunch of cool stuff. Get a bunch of cool stuff with that, including talking on Discord with moi. So,
we did just give away some great items to
that's
those folks.
true. Yeah, there's
2 sets of Artis Opus paintbrush sets. The 4 or 5 paintbrushes in the wooden box set. Those were pretty nice. And then gave away 2 airbrushes, a Sotar 2020 and a Badger Chrome.
Oh, yeah. Very fancy.
Yeah, I love those people in that group. Honestly,
we
they're
have
so
a lot of
fun to
fun.
talk to. That Discord channel is really, really good, and it's fun. I mean, it's fun to, we pull people onto the show from time to time and stuff. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's really cool. And if folks, don't forget, if you want to talk to Sam, Matt, Jason, and myself, you can also join our Discord. Just send us a Facebook message on either the TATPC. Oh, wait. Sam, can you help me out?
Adam, don't do it.
Sam, help me out.
TATPCA. No, TATPCA. Hang on.
Stop it.
The Community Safe Room.
The Douglas Terra Community Podcast, Community Safe Room, or the Masters of the Forge webpage or Facebook page, which is still terrible. and we'll send you an invite. Well, anyways, 150 episodes. Thanks so much for joining us, you guys. I am.
You know what, Loopy? Thanks for putting them out.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for putting them out. This is awesome.
It's been a joy.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. And if anybody has any feedback, what they'd like to see going forward, please don't be bashful. We want to make this the best possible podcast we can within reason. And that's what our commitment is. So
I think there's too much focus on orcs. No orcs on the podcast. Right?
Listen. I have to have an excuse for fielding 26,000 points of orcs, and which actually I think it increased with the last.
You have to go back and recalculate everything.
I have to recount. Yeah, it's very important.
Wow.
Yes, and Matt, just to let you know, when I make it to England, I expect my war buggy.
Oh, it's delivered. Don't worry, it's sitting in a glass cabinet just waiting for the caress of your nutsack.
And with that, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. We'd love it if you could give us a positive rating and review on iTunes.
If you'd like to keep in contact with us, you can follow us on Facebook or Twitter by searching for Masters of the Forge. And you can follow our hobby progress on Instagram with the hashtag Masters of the Forge.
You can also contact us at mastersoftheforge@gmail.com if you have any questions, topic suggestions, or if you'd like to advertise your creative hobby endeavor. Thanks again for listening.
This podcast is protected by the Creative Commons Attribution, No Derivatives, Non-Commercial International License. More information about this license and contact information if you have any requests can be found at our blog, mastersoftheforge.com. The music used in this podcast was made by Podod of the duo Sublevel 3. The track is used with his permission.
It's such a good feeling to play games your way. It's such a happy feeling 40K'ing away. And when you throw dice with story in mind, it's such a wonderful way to unwind. It's a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling you know that we'll be back when the fortnight's new, and we'll have new ideas for you, and you'll have things you'll want to talk about. We will too.